So, you live in Harrisonburg with your dog, and you know what the dream is, right? A nice, relaxing walk through Old Town, or maybe grabbing a seat on a patio on Court Square without any fuss. Well, this guide is all about helping you find a great local trainer so you and your dog can really enjoy everything our city has to offer. Having a well-trained dog just completely changes the game here. It's the difference between a pretty stressful outing and a genuinely fun afternoon. It just makes every part of living in Harrisonburg that much better for both of you. We're going to walk through 5 key things today. First, why training for Harrisonburg life is unique. Then, how to find a qualified trainer. We'll get into programs and what they cost around here, cover the must-ask questions, and finish up with some local rules and resources you'll want to know. All right, let's start with what training actually looks like in the real world. A good training plan has to fit the life you're actually living day to day, right here in Harrisonburg. I mean, think about it. You need a dog who can handle all the energy around the JMU campus, right? Or walk nicely down a busy South Main Street without getting overwhelmed. You want to hike the Bluestone Trail without your arm being pulled out of its socket, and you definitely want to be able to relax at a place like Brothers Craft Brewery with your friends. These are the real-life skills a good local trainer is going to help you build. Okay, so how do you actually find that right person? Let's talk about the training philosophy and the credentials that really set a great professional trainer apart from everyone else. Pretty much all of modern effective dog training is built on one simple idea: positive reinforcement. It's a humane approach that's all about rewarding your dog for getting it right. This builds their confidence, and honestly, it makes your relationship with them so much stronger. And this is really important. Methods that rely on fear or pain are not just unkind, they can actually backfire and create new problems, like anxiety or even aggression. The whole goal here is a happy, confident dog, and that always starts with kind, respectful training. Now, I know this slide looks like a bunch of alphabet soup, but these letters really matter. They show that a trainer has gone through rigorous testing and is committed to staying educated on humane, science-backed methods. For example, CPD TKA and KPI are fantastic for general training skills. But if you see something like IABC or CBCC, that often means they have deeper expertise in more complex behavior issues. Let's switch gears and get into the practical side of all this, the kinds of programs that are out there, and what you can probably expect to pay for them here in the Harrisonburg area. You've basically got 2 main options. Group classes are awesome for learning basic manners and getting your dog to practice around the distraction of other dogs, but in a controlled way. Private sessions, on the other hand, are totally customized to you and are perfect for tackling specific issues that happen at your house or in your own neighborhood. This chart gives you a pretty good idea of the typical costs right here in Harrisonburg. As you can see, a 6-week group class is often the most budget-friendly place to start. In-home packages usually give you a better value for private lessons, while those really intensive programs like board and trains are, for sure, a much bigger investment. Okay, now that you know what to look for and what things cost, here is the actual checklist you can use when you're ready to start calling trainers. Honestly, these 5 questions will tell you just about everything you need to know. Do their methods match up with what you're comfortable with? Are they professionally certified? Can they actually tailor the training to your specific goals? How do they handle it when things don't go perfectly? And, of course, are they totally upfront about their costs and policies? Really, don't be afraid to ask these things. And finally, let's just quickly cover a few important local rules and then point you to some great spots where you can go practice your dog's awesome new skills. This is probably one of the most common questions dog owners ask. What exactly are the rules for leashes here in the city? The answer is super simple and easy to remember. In any public area in Harrisonburg, your dog has to be on a leash that's no longer than 6 feet. The only exception is if you're in a specific, designated off-leash park. Okay, next up is a really key state law. This is one that every single dog owner in Virginia needs to know for public health and safety. So, according to Virginia law, all dogs have to be vaccinated for rabies by the time they hit 4 months old. This is a legal requirement, so just make sure your pup's records are up to date. Of course, once you start training, you're going to need places to practice. Hillendale has a great fenced-in dog park, perfect for off-leash skills, and the trails at places like Purcell Park or out in the George Washington National Forest are amazing for practicing polite leash walking with all sorts of real-world distractions. So just remember, finding the right trainer is really about finding a partner, someone who uses positive, effective techniques to help your dog learn how to navigate our community with confidence.
At the end of the day, the effort you put into training pays off in so many ways. It's what makes those walks through the park, those visits with your family and friends, and just your daily life together so much more joyful and way less stressful. Good luck with your search.